Hi everyone, welcome to or back to my booktube channel. I think today's video is the most excited I've been all year. So if that's not enticing enough, I don't know what else is. Basically, Destiny Sidwell just posted a video that was something along the lines of seeing how many 5 stars I can read in one video, which hers were a bunch of new releases. Mine aren't all new releases, but all potential 5 stars in my opinion. There are literally 5 books on my monthly TBR that I think could be 5 stars. Now, we will not be getting to all 5 of those books in this video, but I'm thinking maybe 3. But yes, it's like the beginning of the month, so I thought we would film this. Let me introduce the books to y'all and then we can get started. So the first book on my radar is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J Maas. If you saw from one of my more recent vlogs, I just finished Heir of Fire and was obsessed. So this is 100% a part of this video. Without a doubt, I will be getting to this. Another book I want to prioritize is Funny Story by Emily Henry. Everyone and their mother is reading this and I feel left out. So those are the 2 books that I want to read ASAP. But let me real quick talk about the others. We have Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. And then we also have Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Worlds. I recently read the first book in the series and was obsessed. I'm not gonna lie, I've been thinking about this book a lot. Without further ado, let's jump into Funny Story. Also, it's almost 6 o'clock on Friday. I'm gonna try and stay up till midnight to read. So hopefully I get pretty well into this. Alright, so first update is that it is almost 8 o'clock and I am exactly 100 pages in. And these 100 pages have gone so quickly. I'm so happy to be back with Emily Henry's writing. If you didn't know the premise of this, basically our 2 main characters had significant others that ended up dating each other. Like our main characters were left by their significant others to be with each other. So we now have Daphne and Miles. Anyways, because that is the setup, you're not like expecting them to get together anytime soon because obviously they are going through a lot. So within these 100 pages, I'm just like enjoying them going through this process and like becoming friends. So yeah, 100 pages in and I am loving this. Okay, so I just made it to the 200 page mark. Chapter 18, a little over half, which my goal was to make it to the 200 mark, so very happy about this. I've obviously taken some breaks between reading, but it is 10:35. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to midnight, but I think me and my boyfriend are about to play some games, and then if I'm not too tired, I want to pick up Queen of Shadows. That is the 5th book in the Throne of Glass series, and I'm really excited for it. It is just massive, which is scary. Actually, let's real quick talk about Emily Henry. I absolutely loved Happy Place when I read it last year because when I was still in school and I was on spring break, and I think I read it in like one day, which I could easily do with this, but I don't want to. And then Beach Read and Book Lovers was so long ago that I don't remember, to be honest. Like I don't remember liking one more than the other, so those need a reread. And then People We Meet on Vacation, I really did not like that book. Like I do not ever want to reread that. I don't know what it was. I think it's because I'm not a big like friends to lovers trope. Like, I don't know. I don't know if this tops Happy Place at the moment. I just really liked all the different kind of friendship in that book. This one so far has like so-so side characters. Like I'm not obsessed with them, which is totally fine. I'm here for Daphne and Miles, obviously, but those are just my thoughts. We'll see if I make it to midnight and if I end up picking up Queen of Shadows. Luckily, I have that on Kindle, which should definitely help, so. let's talk because we are one book down. And unfortunately, it was not a 5 stars. That book being Funny Story by Emily Henry. And don't get me wrong, it was still good. I probably still recommend it, but like I've already forgotten about it, and that was like 3 days ago. It was an easy read. I like Emily Henry as an author, but that book was not my favorite. It just was kind of forgettable, which sounds so mean to say, but yeah. I liked our main characters. I liked Miles a lot. Him wearing Crocs and being a stoner, honestly, didn't bother me at all. That's just not something I held on to. It was just the fact that they seemed like an ordinary couple, nothing special. Honestly, it just made me want to reread her other books to see if they are truly 5 stars too, because I think a lot of the times we get excited about authors and we want to rate them highly, but like take away the name from the book, is it really that highly rated? I don't know, it may be for others, but for me, this was not a 5 stars. I think on Goodreads, I gave it like a 3.75, and I'm going to stick with that. Anyways, we've moved on to the next book. That book being Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. I'm on page 175, chapter 21. It is a big book. I feel like I barely put a dent in that. But it's like the 5th book in the series, so I cannot talk about it at all. Just know that so far, it has been crazy. Like, this entire book has just been chaos. I am really enjoying it. Obviously, that is going to take me some time because I think it's almost 700 pages, but we will slowly get through it. And at one point, I thought I would pick up another book while reading this, but at least for now, I just want to stick to Queen of Shadows. That's how much I've been enjoying it and just want to give it my full attention. Obviously, that is a good sign, which is relieving after I was kind of disappointed by Emily Henry's book. Anyways, let's keep reading. Okay, we just got a new cat tree, so this feels like a good introduction time for all the cats. So down at the very bottom, we have Chuck. He is bright orange. He is our most shy cat. You probably won't see him often. Then up here we have Odie.
He's the greatest, cutest, sweetest boy ever. He's full of love and hate. You either get A or B.
Yup. Oh.
Yeah, there's a hole in the top.
Oh my gosh. Archie is the most athletic, perfect cat in the world.
Here we go. Can y'all tell who's her favorite?
Archie was my first cat and pet, like, on my own. He is perfect. And then down there we have Henry. He was our newest cat.
The model.
Me and Justin got him together.
Just as furious as he is fluffy.
He is very playful. So this is all 4 of our cats. And then we have Molly, and y'all know Hank, Shirley, the bigger dog. And then I also set these posters up today. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna include it in my reset vlog because that seems like a reset thing. Anyways, I just wanted to show y'all this because it is obviously a change. Okay, so I thought I would give one last update about Queen of Shadows before I finish and like let y'all know my final thoughts. So I'm reading it on my Kindle, but just as like a visual, this is how close I am. I think I have about 100 pages left. So still so much to go. And this entire book has been like back-to-back craziness. Like, I can't believe how much has happened in this book. And so far, I love it so much. So far, it's a 5 stars, and I'm only expecting the last 100 pages to make me feel more that way. I don't even exactly know how this happened, but like, I am so attached to every single character. And I was really worried that the found family wouldn't live up to ACOTAR just because I loved ACOTAR so much. And it's honestly not fair to compare them. They're 2 completely different stories, but the friendships that have, you know, blossomed over the series so far have made my heart so happy. I have definitely cried a lot of like happy tears, and just I'm feeling so much with this book. So I'm going to finish it up, and then we will probably discuss, and then I'll start my next book. But I don't even want to think about the next book. I just want to be living here right now. So, I have finished Queen of Shadows and we have found our first 5-star of this video. And I think if I wasn't filming this specific video, I would dive right into the into the tandem read. Clearly that shows how much I've been enjoying this series, but specifically this book. I know I've been talking a lot about the characters and how much I'm enjoying them, but like I just cannot emphasize that enough. I'm loving the characters and I'm also loving the plot. So like, what is there not to like? However, the ending of this book kind of frightens me because like what the hell is gonna happen in the next 3 books? I'm scared. We'll see. Okay, then we have 2 more book options. I think I want to get to both of these throughout this video. It's just which one should I start with? I'm kind of leaning towards Just for the Summer, obviously because this is a fantasy and I just read one, but also because I think that this is on Spotify like as an audiobook and I would love to listen to an audiobook after reading that huge book. Like that's kind of just what I'm feeling. And I'll probably switch back between the physical form and the audiobook because it's on Spotify and it's not like I'm buying 1 credit, you know? Like I want to save some of my hours for other books. Anyways, with that being said, it is about 6:30 on Saturday, so I would like to finish this tomorrow, honestly. Kind of like what I did with Funny Story, where I started it at night and then I finished it in the morning. That's kind of how I'm feeling for this specific book. But do y'all see this string of lights just hanging up? Like I've been making improvements to my book room and then my lights broke. So I think I have a pack of lights in my closet. I'm going to be starting the audiobook and looking for them. If they're even in there, I'm honestly not sure. Here's hoping I find them and then I'll be listening to an audiobook. So even if I don't find them, it'll be enjoyable. Okay, so as y'all saw, I got my lights situated. Unfortunately, I did not find any. Like I looked so hard and I just don't think I had any extra, but that's okay because Target had some. I'm so happy to have them all up. I think it looks so much cozier in here. Anyways, while I was doing all that, I made it to chapter 9 in the audiobook. So that is page 97 out of like 400 pages. I'm gonna switch to physically reading it now for the rest of the night and then we'll talk again tomorrow morning. But so far, I'm really liking it. I always love the main male characters in Abby Jimenez's books. I gave yours truly 5 stars, which is why I'm expecting this to be a 5 stars. So far so good, but I don't think I've introduced this book yet. So let me give you a short summary of what it's about. So we basically have Justin and Emma and they both believe that once they break up with people, those people go on to find their soulmates. Like both of them have had it happen to them like 5 times. So they connected over this on like Reddit and began talking online. And now they have come to the conclusion if they date each other and break up, they will find, you know, the person they're supposed to be with. So that's kind of where we're at right now. They're like going on these like set dates and going through that, but we've also been like slightly introduced to both of their other plots like with their families, and so I'm excited to see where that's gonna go. This font is so big and just like reading this after Queen of Shadows is going to be so easy, so I'm hoping to read like 100 more pages, get to that halfway mark tonight, and then we'll finish up tomorrow. Alright, so it is now time to officially close out this video and give y'all my final thoughts and ratings. The first book we started this video off with was Funny Story by Emily Henry. I ended up giving this a 3.75. As y'all saw, I just like didn't have a connection with it. I enjoyed both of our characters and our storyline, but it just didn't stick out to me. I'm wondering if I would have felt differently if we would have gotten Miles' point of view or something. Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about this. Then after that, we went into Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. This is part of the Throne of Glass series, and this was my first 5-star of the video as well as in this series. So obviously that was super, super exciting. I cried like half of this book. I felt very attached to these characters. I couldn't get enough of it. I'm so excited to continue the series. And then we had back-to-back 5-star reads with Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Y'all saw I cried so hard at this book. Like, I was uncontrollably crying actually. But I think she is my favorite romance author, maybe even top 3 authors of all time, like all genres. But I tabbed a few things because the quotes in this, like their love was just so prevalent throughout the entire book, and I was obsessed with the other plots going on and all the other characters. Justin was perfect. Every other guy, every other book boyfriend needs to take notes because he is everything. Honestly, Abby Jimenez just really knows how to write emotions. Like, I was feeling everything she was writing, hence all the tears. Seriously, obsessed. This is like a 6-star read for me, honestly. And then last but not least, we have Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. I have not yet talked about this with y'all. I actually ended up tabbing it, and I even drew in here. Let me show y'all. Okay, this is kind of silly. I am no artist. I am not claiming to be an artist, but it was just kind of fun. She was having a cup of tea, and floating across the surface were tiny lily pads, each cradling a perfect white flower. So cute. So I just drew that. And then I drew some mushrooms in that corner when they were talking about it, and a castle. Honestly, just making this book like more of mine is always so fun. I gave this a 4.25 stars. Heather Fawcett's writing was beautiful as always, and I just love how fairy tale and whimsical this is, but the plot itself kind of fell flat for me, which was so disappointing. My favorite parts of this book were the romance, where I felt like the last book I really enjoyed everything. For instance, I didn't love the side characters in this book, but I loved the side characters in the first book. So it was still really, really good, but like I would reread the first book multiple times before wanting to reread this. I will say, I think the third book might be my favorite, just the way it's setting up. I have high hopes for that for sure. So there we have it. 2 out of the 4 books were 5 stars. And I still enjoyed the other 2, so that is a win for me. This video was super fun to make because I was reading books from like all of my favorite authors. So I hope you enjoyed, and please let me know if you read any of these and what your thoughts were. And with that, I will see y'all in the next one. Bye guys.